All right, what up? What up? What's popping? What's good? We are here with my dude Rashidi from Arcade Appraisals. We put up the banner so people know what's popping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So today we're gonna be talking about the benefits of being an independent contractor. So, Rashidi, let the people know what is an independent contractor for all the people that don't know what it is. So we could, let them know how they can benefit from all that other good shit. You feel me?
Yeah, an independent contractor is someone that has a license in a specialized field typically, and they don't work for the company directly. They just execute a contract for a job. So pretty much someone that has a license, like if you're in life insurance, real estate, you're an independent contractor. So you have a set license, and people hire you for set work versus just working directly for that company. And the difference is, a normal employer, they'll pay your taxes for you, health insurance, things of that nature. But an independent contractor, you do that all yourself independently. You pay your own health insurance, you pay for your own insurance, in just in case someone sues you, all that stuff yourself. And that's why independent contractors get paid more money, because the company doesn't have to worry about paying you, for health insurance, things of that nature. So you get to ask for a higher dollar just to get a job done specifically with a set contract.
Interesting. And so I'm hearing what was I hearing? Okay, it's not there anymore. I don't know what that was. But anyway, so so the thing is, when you're an independent contractor, is that the same as being like a solo entrepreneur or some shit like that? Or is that
no?
So it's not the same.
Not the same. They're similar, but not the same. So, with the entrepreneur, you have your own business, you do everything yourself, you make up all your rules as long as you're not doing anything illegal. You make up your own prices, do your own thing. You don't have to really follow any guidelines.
Right.
The difference is, though, with independent contractors, that you have less independence than the entrepreneur, where you still have to follow the company that they're hiring for that set job. You still have to follow their rules. They just pay you a higher price, and it's both agreed upon between you and that company. So kind of like it's just levels, kind of like where you work for a normal employer, they have complete control. When you work for a rental company, you have complete control. They tell you when to clock in, what time to do it, how to do the job, follow the guidelines to a T. They pay for your taxes, everything else. Then you got the next level, independent contractor, where it's like, I'm not committed to this company for 1, 2, 3 years, or they can fire you. Independent contractor is the next level, where it's like, I'm independent. I'm doing a specific job. It ends when that contract ends, and it's no commitment on both sides. It's just a job, but you're licensed and you have the qualifications to do that job. With the independent contractor. Then the entrepreneur, it's a free for all. You do whatever you want. You make up your own rules. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, you do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Oh, so the independent contractor is sort of like a middle ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But however, isn't there the like, you can be an entrepreneur and an independent contractor, though, depending on the situation.
Right. Correct. No, you can definitely do both. You can merge both. The main difference is honestly, from an independent contractor and an entrepreneur, a lot of independent contractors holds different licenses. So for example, with RKT appraisals, on my end, like Kareem's end, we hold multiple licenses for different things.
Right.
We hold life insurance licenses, real estate license, but we're still entrepreneurs. So you can combine both. It's just that, for example, if I'm selling life insurance, I'm working with that contract with whatever insurance company I'm working with. I'm selling on behalf of them with their rules and regulations. They just pay me a higher salary to sell their product.
Right. Interesting. And so what's some like jobs and stuff that you think are like independent contractor type of job? What are some of the things that you think that they would be able to do?
I mean, pretty much everything, to be honest with you. I mean, independent contractors, like I said, it's mainly with licenses. So that can mean you could be a plumber, an HVAC person, electrician, literally pretty much every single field. What it is, though, is just that most times with independent contractors, you just pay the money up front to get the specialized license so you can represent yourself. It's kind of like the best comparison I always like to show is kind of like if you're going to court and you represent yourself versus getting a lawyer. You have the capability of representing yourself, but you're not a lawyer. You know what I mean? That's the best way. But yeah, literally everything. I mean, there's so many jobs. I mean, life insurance agents, car insurance agents, agents across the board for all types of insurance.
Right.
Like I said, pretty much every single little thing out there, they have licenses for the most part.
Right.
That's so. Shout out to the chat. And so, do you think that being an independent contractor, you would make more money than just having like a regular 9-to-5? Or is there like, because what I'm saying is, do you think, because if you're doing the independent contractor shit, then maybe you can do more things in more time, depending on how much you want to work, versus you just got the 9-to-5 and you want just a specific salary. You feel what I'm saying? So is that one of the benefits?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the benefits. So one of the main benefits of independent contracting is that you actually get a chance to create your own schedule. So you know, the normal 9-to-5, literally a normal 9-to-5, they pay your taxes, they pay for your health insurance, those things of that nature. Do the 401k, do all of the above for you. So they do all the work for you. They also give you a set schedule. Wherein as you go to independent contractor, because no one pays your health insurance, you pay your own health insurance. You pay your own taxes. It's all on you. So because the employer does not have to worry about paying your health insurance and factoring all those other things and insuring you if you make a mistake. So for example, if you work for a regular job, you do something wrong, the company gets sued. You as an independent contractor, you get sued. Right. So all the responsibility falls on you. So if you're an independent contractor, you definitely get paid more money because you have a specialized service and they don't have to worry about nothing you do. Right. All you need to do is do the job that they paid you for. So that's why they give you top dollar to do that job.
Plus to cover the risk involved.
Exactly.
Because you got to raise the price. Be like, listen, if something goes wrong, then that's my ass. So listen, I need some extra money on top of it. You know what I'm saying? But see, another reason why you might make more money than the employee is that if the company that hires you, because more of the risk and responsibility is on your hands, right? They're even more willing to pay whatever you ask, because a lot in some industries, it's actually more beneficial and more cost effective. That I don't have to, like, say I'm the company paying the independent contractor. If I don't have to worry about the licensing issues, if I don't have to worry about the rules and regulations and the unions and you know what I'm saying, all of these extra regulations and stipulations and city ordinances and all of this type of nonsense. If I don't have to worry about that and I just pay you to worry about all that shit and just take care of what I need you to take care of, that actually makes my business run smoother. Because you have some companies out there, they have to hire expensive ass lawyers just to keep track of the ordinances and the new regulations and requirements. Because every year the city will probably, like, depending on your industry, like say you're a builder or a contractor or engineer. Every year, like, things change and upgrade every year, right? So it's like, okay, well, this year we use like a certain mixture of concrete to make the sidewalk, right? But next year they found out that if we add a little bit of plastic, it's more safer for the pedestrian or whatever, right? So now this year it's like, well, you have to use that new concrete, or else your project is not regulatory and it might get banned or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So you hire the independent contractor. So the independent contractor he has to worry about all that shit. You understand? Therefore, I don't need to hire a lawyer to try to keep up with the requirements and so on and so forth. And that's why you might pay the independent contractor in a practical example. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things that go with that, so it's like, well, just come in, you deal with it. So if something goes wrong with the project, hey, I paid that guy. Right. You see what I'm saying? I paid him. He did everything. He said he had his licenses. He said he had his, his certifications and requirements. Go talk to him. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it can be a double-edged sword depending on the industry that you're in. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So what's the, like, so, okay. So, cause you're saying that you could be an independent contractor and also entrepreneur at the same time. But correct. What makes you an independent contractor, but not necessarily an entrepreneur? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? Is it just because you don't have like a business license or something? Like, what's the What's the specific, I guess, difference in that?
Yeah, I mean, the specific difference, honestly, is just having that license itself and doing a specific service for a specific time. So, for example, we'll use the business RKT appraisals. So, I have an independent contractor for life insurance. So, essentially, I represent multiple life insurance companies as an independent contractor. But for RKT, as far as the consultations, in terms of the credit consultation, that's all me. So that's all me. So that's literally the difference. It's all me. I make up my own rules with RKT consultations. But whenever I'm selling life insurance, I still get the entrepreneur part where I make up my own schedule, that I contact clients and all that type of stuff as an independent contractor. So I still get a huge piece of entrepreneur stuff. But as far as doing the exact job for the exact company, that's the only time I become an independent contractor, when I set up an appointment. When I set up an appointment with a client to do over life insurance, that's all me, entrepreneur part. The moment I click the button to go ahead and process and ask the specific questions for the life insurance company, that's the only part that I become an independent contractor, because I'm selling specifically life insurance and specifically for that person's guidelines. So it's literally, I'm an entrepreneur up until they sign the dotted line for this specific thing that I'm selling, like life insurance, or if I'm doing real estate or anything like that.
Right.
So that's literally the only difference.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Oh, did he cut off? Uh-oh.
He's an independent contractor, so he does what he wants.
Exactly. Oh, shit.
Or he probably paid an independent contractor to put up his internet. But nah, it's it's the benefits of being an independent contractor. There's a lot of benefits to it, especially if you're the type of person who don't like having a boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you got some people like that. They're like, man, I don't want to deal with none of this. I don't want nobody telling me when I need to clock in. I don't want nobody telling me how I need to do this. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody getting mad at me for sexually harassing the female coworkers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a holla at a shorty one of these days. You know what I mean? Like, before the project is over, I might ask, Jan in accounting out for dinner or out for a drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to say shit to me. You know what I mean?
But that's another thing I wanted to know, because isn't that so if you're an independent contractor, you do this project for this company or whatever, and you holler at somebody at the company, can that person still sort of have the same sexual harassment case or will it be like who's responsible now? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or is that like a thing? You feel what I mean?
Right. Well, sometimes it depends on the contract, because that's one thing though. There has to be a contract between you and the person that's paying for your service. Right. So it depends on what your contract actually says. Right. It could just be a little like paragraph on the invoice or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it just depends on what it says. So if there's a part in there that says something about sexual harassment, then maybe he'll be able to take care of it, because that's the thing too. As an independent contractor, sometimes you got to have a lawyer available to you. You know what I'm saying? Because shit gonna happen that you're gonna have to deal with. I'm Rashidi. So we were talking about if something like sexual harassment go down, but you're an independent contractor, but you're like working at a company, but you're not an employee of that company. Like, how does that shake out?
Exactly everything I was saying. So I heard you. So pretty much that's exactly it. With the independent contractor, you assume all risk. So literally, as an independent contractor, that's why I was saying before, as far as a company, they pay for the insurance. If something goes wrong, the company gets sued instead of you directly. But as the independent contractor, you get sued. So that's why, as an independent contractor, you have the responsibility of getting what's called errors and omissions insurance. So that means if someone is trying to sue you because you messed something up, they can sue you. And then at that point, your insurance policy would pay out because of that. So as an independent contractor, that situation, someone trying to sue you, that's why you got to be insured the proper way. There's different insurances you got to get. Like, you got to get insurance for slander, all kinds of stuff. I mean, even down to simple as driving. If you have your car, your insurance policy, you got to have a commercial policy to cover you while driving if you're doing certain types of businesses. So like you said, as an independent contractor, that's all on you. And that's the stuff that you got to pay for.
That's crazy. And so, what are some, I guess, strategies that people could use, or that you would think people would use for them to be a successful independent contractor? Because isn't there times like, what happens if like, or I should say this, when you're an independent contractor, do you think it makes sense to also have a regular 9-to-5 on top of being an independent contractor, or should you just be the independent contractor? Like, what's the best strategy to
I mean, to be honest with you, the best strategy is all on the individual. I mean, my always litmus test is pretty much just looking at being real with yourself, because the independent contractor is an entrepreneur. The only difference is that you just have licenses with certain fields and certain specialized contracts that you set with people. Right. So independent contractor, that's the first step to really being an entrepreneur, because now you're in complete control. So if you don't want to work a regular 9-to-5 and you want to be an independent contractor, that don't mean you should just be an independent contractor. Because if you don't know how to organize your time, if you don't make time to run your own business just like a normal entrepreneur, you'll fail. You know. Right. And so it's one of those things where independent contractor is the perfect segue to become a complete full entrepreneur. Because as an independent contractor, for example, and to go back to what you said, Mr. Lucario, you know, with me, for one of my licenses, for example, I'm licensed for doing auto appraisals and things like that. So if your car gets damaged, I can tell you how much it costs to fix your car. Right. Now, I started working in insurance by regular 9-to-5. I got the license through there. But now with RKT, I can also do appraisals on the side myself as an independent contractor. So outside of my insurance company, I can actually be an independent contractor with different insurance companies, as long as it's not my insurance company directly, because that's a breach of their contract. So you can literally be an independent contractor and make money and kick your 9-to-5 to the side, because you are an entrepreneur. But you got to be real with yourself. Are you disciplined enough? Are you making time to look at your craft? Are you making a schedule? Are you setting appointments? Do you just like, a lot of times, a lot of people just want to leave their 9-to-5, but don't actually know what it takes to run your own business, or know what it takes to be disciplined and do those type of things. So, but you can make it.
And what does your pool of clientele look like? Right. Like, where you getting the work from? Right. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It could be crazy. Exactly. And then, if you get in a situation where you got a dry spell, and then, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy though. You know what I
mean? That's it. And that's why most people kind of, gravitate to the 9-to-5 thing, especially if you ain't got the hustle mentality, if you ain't got the entrepreneur mentality, stick with the job, bro, because even when it's a drought, your job still got to pay you.
Exactly. Right.
And it's reasons like that why you'll get paid a little bit less than the independent contractor, because it kind of balances out a little bit, right? Because you always going to get paid whatever you getting paid, even though it's less than the independent contractor, your money's guaranteed. Right. You know what I'm saying? The independent contractor, he'll make a whole bunch of money during the summer, but then in the wintertime, it's like, you ain't got nothing for you, because you do HVAC work. So we needed you in the summer, but we don't need you in the winter. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to figure something out. You got to add heating to your services or something. You feel me? But, that's what it is. A lot of people who, they really don't want to think about all of the stresses of running a business and, the ebbs and flows of business and the possible droughts and stuff like that. A lot of people don't want to think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we need, look, I like being more of an entrepreneur and running my own shit. But I have respect for 9-to-5ers. I have respect for people who go to work every day and grind and do what they got to do, because shit, the average person, if you want to go in and get your coffee or get something from you walk into Staples and you're trying to buy a printer, or you need those people to help you. Like, what I'm saying? You need all of that stuff to get done. So it is what it is, man. A lot of people love to be like, yo, entrepreneurs and be a boss. And nigga, we need workers too, bro, because you can't be a boss without no workers. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So niggas got to work, and 9-to-5 is all good, man. I respect it, man. Stay on the grind. Do what y'all got to, like, shit. For example, every time you order something from Amazon, there's a 9-to-5 worker putting the shit in the box for you and taping it up and sending it.
Exactly.
You feel me? So it's all necessary. All of it is necessary. There's never one without the other, bro. Like, a lot of times we love to like look at what we're doing and try to act like, oh, well, I'm doing this. I'm an entrepreneur. I make my own schedule. Fuck all that shit. You 9-to-5 niggas is, You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas is for the birds, or you want to talk down on other people, but it's like, nah, bro, we're all necessary, bro. Mm-hmm. Like we are all necessary. So don't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It can't be one without the other. It's all needed.
See, Gold in the chat said, "No, your money is not guaranteed as an employee. You're fired."
Yeah, I mean, no, he ain't lying. He ain't lying because during the 2008 downturn, I actually got fired.
Wow, that's crazy,
right? But like 2 or 3 months before I actually got fired, they told me that they were doing everything they could to keep me on.
Right.
But it was like, with this downturn, we don't know what's going to happen, but we're trying. But the point I'm trying to make is that every 2 weeks up until the point that they did fire me,
right,
my check was consistent. That's what I'm really talking about. Because at any job, you have the possibility of being fired. Right. We all know that. But what I'm saying is, as long as everything is decent, you know what I'm saying? You go and get your check. You understand? Right. That's all I'm saying. Like, nothing is guaranteed, obviously. But what I mean is, compared to an independent contractor who has to deal with the flow of the market, an employee, on the other hand, you looking at your boss like, nigga, look, when you gave me the employee handbook and you gave me my offer letter, you said I would be making $2,000 every 2 weeks.
Right, exactly.
Unless you're gonna fire me, I'm gonna need that check every 2 weeks. I don't give a fuck what the market is doing.
What's going on, right? And that's the thing about the independent contractor shit and how it is to be an entrepreneur is that, like, there's a lot more that you got to worry about because it's just dependent on your shit. Because like you actually got to do the work as an independent contractor versus being, because in a 9 to 5 in certain jobs you could kind of coast on certain days and just be like, all right, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody's hiring you to fucking build a fucking tree house, you know what I'm saying? Like, or something, you got to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. So what? Oh, go ahead, Miles.
No, I was just saying I did a lot of coasting when I was in corporate America, but yeah, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, what are some of the things, I guess the downfalls you can say of being an independent contractor besides like, like there might be a drought or whatever, like what are some other things that people should look out for first, or think about as they're trying to do what they do? Like, as far as like money is concerned, or maybe even like legal stuff, taxes, like what's some of the things that you think is
the one concern is that I think going into independent contracting and being an entrepreneur is having some type of experience in the field you're going into instead of just jumping in willy-nilly. What do I mean by that? The example I gave you as far as me being in the insurance industry for a long time, I learned the game through corporate America and learned the ins and outs before I decided to go out on my own.
Right.
So I have that experience and that backing. But had I just jumped into it raw, you really can't. You can do that, and people do that all the time. But that increases your failure rate. Why? Because you don't really know what you're doing, and you're just winging it. But let's be honest, when you're just winging stuff, it's only but so far you can go. You may get lucky and stumble upon some success, but
right,
it's not guaranteed. So my thing I always tell people is that if you want to be an entrepreneur, at least research the field. So if it's something where you work a regular 9 to 5. And you want to sell t-shirts, it ain't as easy just like, oh, I'm just going to go sell t-shirts. No, actually take the time and research. All right, I don't work in this field. I'm not that experienced, but it is my passion. Nothing wrong with it. But let me research what it takes to sell t-shirts. How much does it cost to make a shirt? Where can I get wholesale prices? How much does it all cost? How much does it cost to ship the t-shirts? Do I have time to ship the t-shirts? I have to do real research because that's where, like you said, Lucario, where it comes into play, where if you're not organized, it affects you.
Right.
You're under more pressure as an entrepreneur and an independent contractor because people will quickly throw you away. Right. You already have the bad reputation as you're just one person or you're just a very small company or a small team. So people don't trust you automatically. So you have little to you can't mess up pretty much.
Right.
The difference is with a company, to go what Miles was saying before, where you can coast, you could make a bad call with a customer and slack off, and the customer like, oh, that was horrible customer service. They're going to come back because that's a national company. That's a big company. It's just one person out of thousands of customers. But for you, as an independent contractor, entrepreneur, you mess up, they blasting you on social media. They're never recommending you, and you're done. Like
the ratings on Yelp and Google and shit. Oh my God, you're done, bro.
So you got to take it serious. So that means if you set up an appointment, you better make it on an appointment on time. If you're gonna be late, tell them 10 minutes before you're going to be late. Like if you make a mistake, you're independent, so that you have to take full accountability of your actions. So if you make a mistake on something, it's not like a company where you could fall behind and they say, "Oh, let me talk to a manager." No, if you're an independent contractor entrepreneur, they only talk to you. So you gotta have the responsibility that, listen, I made a mistake, I apologize, and XYZ, and you gotta have the ability to admit when you're wrong. Hold yourself accountable for your actions, things of those nature. That's why being an independent contractor and entrepreneur is not for everybody. Right. But if you have discipline and you focus, you can make a killing way more. You have the ceiling is way higher as an independent contractor and entrepreneur. But 9 to 5, like Miles said earlier on, is a lot safer and it's guaranteed money as long as you're doing everything the company's saying and they don't go bankrupt.
Exactly. Because Miles, I want to ask you, because when you were doing the weddings, did you ever get scared that like you forgot to take certain pictures or your camera's gonna break in the middle of it? You know what I'm saying?
Of course, hell yeah, hell yeah, bro. Like I invested in cameras that have 2 memory cards.
Right.
Like, so when I take one picture, the picture goes to both memory cards.
Right.
Because if I'm there taking pictures all day at somebody's wedding, and I go home and I stick the memory card in the computer and it says error.
Right.
Yo, I'm fucked, bro. Like what?
Right.
Nigga, yo, man. So it's a big deal, man. You have to. And on top of that, you have to pay for your own business insurance too. Like, because I had to make sure that, like, because I bring lights sometimes. I bring like, backgrounds and stuff. I bring stuff that could fall on people and hurt people.
Right.
Even my camera. If my cameras are heavy, if I can knock somebody out with one of my cameras. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Right.
So I got to be careful with all that stuff. So you got to have your business insurance. You got to have all your paperwork in order, bro. Like for some weddings, for example, I can't. Like the venue is asking to see proof of my business insurance.
Right.
So I have to mail that to them before I even, before I get there, or sometimes bring a printout of it so they can see that I have coverage. So just in case one of my lights fall on somebody, I'm good. You understand? Because again, it's just like Rashidi was saying. It's like I'm being hired independently by the bride and groom.
Right.
But I'm working in the venue. I'm working in their property.
Right.
So if something happens on their property, I have to show that as an independent contractor, I'm covered.
Right.
You understand? I have to show that my paperwork is in order. I got insurance. I got, all the stipulations, licenses, whatever. I have license to do business in the state that I'm in, all that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I got to show all that stuff. But I wanted to look at what Goldie was saying when he said sourcing, the biggest issue is sourcing new clients.
Right.
And what do you have to say about that, Rashidi?
As far as sourcing clients, I mean, I won't say it is the highest obstacle. Why? Because marketing yourself is hard.
Yes.
And if you, depending on your level, being a people person and knowing how to market and how well you navigate on social media, and honestly, just your not your negotiation skills, but more importantly, your interaction skills, how you interact with people is huge. So it's one of those things where if you don't know how to navigate social media, you have to be flawless in every other aspect. You know what I mean? But if you know how to manage social media and get the people to your business, that means that, you know what I mean? You still have to know how to interact with people, because you could be perfect on social media and you'll grab a whole bunch of clients in, but if you don't know how to handle them, you'll get their business one time.
Right.
So it's really about having your balance and just understanding that you have to know how to market yourself. So you have to be brave and jump on social media if that's your platform, and you have to mix it up. You have to do social media. You have to do word of mouth. You have to do mail. You have to do every angle. And honestly, you just have to be a walking business. I mean, a perfect example I give for myself. I'm walking RKT everywhere I go. You know what I mean? I spark conversations with people everywhere I go, from going into elevator, just laughing and joking. It doesn't necessarily have to be about business. If you generally crack a conversation with a person for more than 30 seconds to a minute, naturally you start talking, they ask you what you do. And that's when you segue into like, hey, I do X, Y, Z. And let me take your card. They may never call you again. But the point is, you always planting the seed everywhere you go. I eat, sleep, RKT everywhere. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. That's where I'm at. That's why the signal went out before. But the point is, though, you gotta network with everybody at all times. Social media, just get your content out there. Once you get your content out there, the person that calls you, and this is the most key, and I live by this RKT, is that you got to give excellent customer service. You know what I mean? Like, no joke. Like, you got to treat everybody like royalty, and that's part of the game. You know what I mean? You treat people with respect, giving them top-notch service, never slacking, going above and beyond is huge. Because you can market all day, but again, you know what I mean? You could get me one time. Everybody can get got one time. You know what I mean? So you could sell a pillow one time. It's a great pillow. Like, oh man, I love this pillow, but he was a jerk. You know what I mean? But the reality situation is they never gonna call back to you. But you sell that pillow, you make them feel comfortable. I love this pillow, the best pillow ever slept in their life. You call and check on them. How's that pillow sleeping for you? You sleeping good every night? I guarantee you they recommend everybody and their mama to you. And that's how it goes. Word of mouth, marketing on social media. So just going hard and everything you're doing is just being genuine and connecting with people. I mean, that's my main advice I tell people off top. Yeah.
I was laughing before because I could just imagine Rashidi going in an elevator with strangers and start like slapping his knee like, yo, and start laughing and shit. And it was someone's like, yo, what's going on? But like, listen, I want to tell you about RKT. Like, listen, that's all the elevator pitch. You feel me?
Exactly.
But another thing I want to talk about though, and everything you said was on point. However, one thing that is a concern for a lot of different people is the type of industry they're in.
Right.
Because not every industry is social media friendly, right? Not every industry, can even get you in a room full of people. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, if you run a porn studio, you might not be able to talk about that everywhere you go.
Right.
But honestly speaking though, another thing I wanted to bring up is doing things for free a part of your marketing. And when I say doing things for free, I don't mean just doing shit and nobody pays you. No. I mean coming up with strategic and creative ways to demonstrate your value by actually completing small projects, right? That will have a lasting effect and allow you to market to different people, whether by word of mouth or, you can turn it into a, maybe like a media project or turn it into a publicity stunt or however you want to do it. But the bottom line is like, say you do contracting, right? And you got a friend who maybe he just bought, I remember a while back, Michael Jordan's house was on the market, right? And so you got a friend of a friend who knows the guy that bought the house, and you tell him, listen, if you can get me in contact with him, I'll do all the floors for free, right? Because that's a high profile situation, right? If you're a contractor and they trying to remodel Michael Jordan's old mansion, that's a high profile situation. And then you make sure you bring a camera crew out there. So when the work is done, you take as many pictures as you can. You take video of yourself working on the project. And then when it's done, everything looks pristine and it looks beautiful. And the dude shakes your hand. He's not giving you any money, but what he gave you was an opportunity to show your skill and show your craft in a high profile situation. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, it's high profile and it's also, high bracket, meaning the high, it's a higher price. Because I'll do this floor for free because this is Michael Jordan's house and everybody want to see what happened. But the next, guy that owns a $9-10 million house, I'm not doing it for free. But it's a $9 million house though. Like it's in that range of clientele. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times people, me, for example, me being a photographer, there were times where I drove 3 hours away from my city just to go take pictures at a wedding for free. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people looked at me like, why would you do that, man? You crazy. But bro, I met so many people and I took a bunch of great photos that I was able to use on my social media. You understand what I'm saying? Which and on top of that, the people that I network with actually, saw the extent of my character as far as me being passionate about my craft and me being willing to do work like that for absolutely nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that even made them more confident in me to recommend me to more people. You understand? So imagine I'm getting a boost in my reputation. I'm getting the opportunity to network with a bunch of people in another city that I would have never met otherwise. I'm getting the opportunity to show my skill and produce content that shows off my skill and my craft. You understand? That's three things. Even though I'm doing it for free, that's three things that I got. Even though I didn't get money, that's three things that I got that adds value to my business and brings me more clients. Right? So, anybody listening to this, I hope your industry is, social media friendly, or even if it's not, maybe try to come up with creative ways to make it so, right?
Right.
But other than that, make doing things, they call it pro bono, right? Like make doing things pro bono or make doing things for free a part of your marketing strategy or budget, right? And when I say free, not just simply you go do the job and it's just free and nobody don't know. Make a big fucking deal out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure that the person who you're doing it for free, make sure they post it on their social media and talk about you and be like, yo, this guy came in and he did this project for me. And oh my God, he was on time every day. He finished it when he finished it before the deadline and he saved me money and he like shit. Get them to get. Oh, and that's another big thing too. If we talk about social media, whoever you do work for, make them give you reviews or request that they give you reviews because that's a big deal in people making decisions to use people, because a lot of people love to go on Yelp. A lot of people love to go on Google, right? And even on Amazon, right? When you about to buy something on Amazon, don't you look at the reviews?
Yeah.
Right. You look at how many people bought it and see, 4.5 stars, 5 stars. All right, shit. 1,400 people bought it and all of them said it was dope. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the one that only 200 people bought it and it was only like 3.5, 4 stars. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Same product.
One thing, and I'm sorry to cut you, Miles. One thing I want to piggyback off you too, as well for sourcing is honestly, it's just about also being humble. At the end of the day, what do I mean by that? Also contacting people in your industry. Let's be real here. We're all humans. Everybody wants to help someone. So if you're in the industry and you don't know stuff, ask people that are doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you're in the industry, ask random strangers on Facebook, social media, or call up people in the yellow pages. I guarantee you, people are going to help you. You're going to get that one person that get out of here and not whatever. But if you call 10 people, probably 7 or 6 out of those 10 people are going to give you good advice. Like, I'm not trying to give you my secrets, but sometimes I use X, Y, and Z. That's how. So just be humble. Just ask them. Listen, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. Can you give me some advice? Right. Because you're being humble and being vulnerable, people will be more willing to help you. You know what I mean? Right. Even the people that want to make fun of you and laugh at you, they still gonna laugh at you, but they still gonna help you because they're gonna look at this dummy. But I'm still gonna help them though. Some may laugh in your face, or some may laugh after the fact. But guess what? You got what you got. They laugh, but you got what you got. You got your information that you need to get to. So it's also just being humble and asking people around you in that industry, everybody. I mean, just asking everybody. The perfect example I use whenever I start a new job, I'm that dude with the first 3 months of probation. I'm reaching out to everybody. Like when the manager say, reach out to your peers. Yes, I'm going to be annoying, but I'm going to be strategic. If I have 30 coworkers that do the same thing I'm doing, I'm sending them an instant message, each one for different questions all day, every day. So I'm getting all kind of answers and milking it. So that's why that's the whole part of networking. Is a good way to source is just reach out to people that do it. They're going to help you. You know what I mean? And they'll give you some tips for free. Don't get me wrong. A lot of times these days, people want you to pay all these money with advertising and all this type of stuff, but forget those people. But everybody else, just ask everybody. Somebody will give you free tips. All them free tips add up and give you all the answers you need. So. Right.
Nah, facts. Definitely. Nah, networking is heavy, man. I remember as a photographer, like sometimes when things were slow, I would literally just get in my phone and just start calling people and be like, hey, what's up? How you been, man? You know anybody that need any photography work? Got any parties coming up? Anything happening? And I swear to you, by like you said, by the 9th to 10th person, I had like 2 bookings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because you meet people, or you just you know people. You know people. You know what I'm saying? And you're not asking them. You're not asking them for anything necessarily. Like you calling somebody to beg or whatever. Nah, that's not the case. You have a skill and a craft, and you're calling people in your Rolodex in your phone or whatever, and you're like, hey, what's up? How you been? I'm just checking in to see if you need somebody that needs what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, nah, I don't really know anybody. All right, that's cool. How's your mother? Word. All right, cool, man. All right, so I'll talk to you later, man. Take it easy. Call the next person and just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. And that's the cool part about like when you network. Try to follow up with people. Get those people in your phone. Let those people become a part of the pool of people that you kind of feel like right? So so you can have that connection to them. So when you call them, you can get into that type of conversation. Like, hey, what's up, man? How you been? Word. All right, cool, man. Listen, so I was just checking in to see if somebody need what I do. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yo, my cousin just bought a house. He's looking for. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for electrical work, heating, whatever. You understand? A lot of things could come your way that way. But see, the thing is, sometimes we're, especially as an independent contractor, right? Because we're so responsible for so many things. Sometimes we forget about simple shit like that can help us in the game. Because we think about insurance, we thinking about license, we think about this, think about that. And it's like simple as like you have a whole literally a wealth of information in your phone. You understand? And not having anything to do with the internet neither. No. Remember how we used to call people? Like, remember how we used to dial a number and call a nigga? Like, yes, that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that, bro, because a lot of times, you catch somebody at the right time and then you do a good job and then, repeat work, word of mouth, and so on and so forth. And then before you know it, you out there. You gotta start. Then you have to turn into an entrepreneur. Because now you got to start hiring employees or other independent contractors. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy like that.
Yeah. So any last words about this topic before we head up out of here?
Does anybody in the chat have a question? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, my last words is that if you're trying to be independent contractors, do some research before you jump in. Contact RKT Appraisals. we have a lot of independent contractors on staff. We're building a team anyway for real estate agents, life insurance agents, the whole shebang. So call us for advice, words, anything else. That'd be my last words.
That's what's up. All right, so guys, listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Come catch us next week. Make sure you guys hit up Rashidi at rktappraisals.com. Call him 973-420-5028 is the number and make that happen. All right, so we are out of here. We will see you guys next week. Y'all be safe. Peace. We are gone. We out.